everyone, thank you for tuning in today. Today's reading is going to be their sexual style versus their outward demeanour. We've got 3 piles, pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. So if you can think of somebody that you want to know whether the way that they are privately is the way that they are, how they present themselves in everyday life, if you can just choose a pile and we'll get started. So that's 1, 2 and 3. Hi, pile 1. I'm just going to move these about a bit so you can actually see the cards. Right. I've hidden a few of them. Oh, it's thundering outside. Okay, I'll show you the cards as we go along anyway. So this pile over here, pile number 1, is your person, how they appear to everybody in everyday life when they meet people in the shops, how they appear to friends and family, and basically the face that they put on naturally anyway, as we all do. This pile over here is like the private pile. It's only a few people will know what they're like when you have them on your own or in an intimate situation. So let's get going with this pile. So your person on first meeting comes across as somebody quite confident and quite composed. They have this air of stability about them. And also like a nurturing air about them, as if they are stable but also able to provide for people who look like they need help, if that makes sense. They work hard and give the impression that they work hard. They're quite astute in making sure that they appear to be focused. But I do think there's a certain edge about your person that can be quite fiery when provoked. You've got 2 cards here that suggest that they can be quite defensive in some way, they're quite argumentative in some way, if need be. They're not somebody who's afraid to get stuck in and have a fight, if they need to be. But generally, the first things that caught my eye was this card up here, the 4 of Wands, which is a stable card, and this turtle here is pregnant, so it's like a home feeling of being very stable and nurturing. And you've got the Star card here, which the 2 that caught my eye to begin with, and this person is somebody who could possibly be Aquarius, or just somebody who is humanitarian, thinks of others, puts others before them, is quiet, but always forward thinking. So you've got somebody who's homely and stable, but always has an eye on what's coming next and does it in a way to make sure that everybody succeeds, if you know what I mean there. There's somebody who works hard and is not afraid to wait to see the results. There's somebody who's able to fight through what they think they need to get what they want out of a situation. I don't think they're impatient. If they've got their mindset on where they need to go, they're quite prepared to wait for it. I think in everyday life, you may have already picked up that your person has 2 sides to them. There's a side that's open and giving, and just, basically you see that, but you equally see the side that could also have a little bit of an ego and a bit of a temper, possibly. There's this fiery side to them. There's this sort of sexual side to them that goes alongside. They're almost angelic, stable exterior. And I'm not saying this is hidden. This is still the pile that's open. So I think you probably know both. There's probably 2 sides to this person. One that's stable and loving and open and caring, but also is able to stick up for themselves. And there's the other side that you wonder, I think you may wonder, or have seen them flick between the 2, of being open and caring, and then I wonder whether you've been in a situation where they've almost just cut off like that. Something's annoyed them and they've been quite fiery and feisty and very defensive. I think your person has both qualities in them, and I think everybody knows it, and that's just the way it is. It's almost like the impression of somebody who's quite airy, in the fact they're very good at communicating, and they're quite stable as well. I'm not saying air stable, but they're stable and they work hard. But if push comes to shove, this person is feisty. They don't have a lack of boundaries. And I think when they need to be, they can be quite hard on people that they think deserve it. I don't get the impression that it's out of hand. I just get the impression of somebody who has strong boundaries and is not afraid of a fight or to give their opinion. This person probably is the first in a class situation to stick their hand up and give some, or air a contentious issue or something. Or if something's wrong, it gives me the feeling this person is very, is not reticent in coming forward to say exactly how things should be. It's a fiery and feisty feeling, which is sort of like a not mirrored, but with a warm humanitarian thinking and feeling. So that's basically how they appear. So there's two sides to that one, and I think it's quite open. You've seen both sides of this person. Now, in private, so let's just say that you were in an intimate situation with this person, or you've talked to this person about what they like. I would think that this person needs to feel loved to relax in a situation that's intimate. I have a feeling this person is one of the people that actually, through no reason, not through spite or any other reason, is the person that gets up the next morning and moves out quickly. I think your person thinks a lot about what they would like to do with whoever they are sleeping with. And I think they're very good at thinking ideas up and putting them into action. And I think this person's quite a maverick. They won't do things that everybody else has done or they've seen somewhere else or their friends have talked about it. It's somebody who wants to do something that's different. So whatever situation or perhaps some sort of something that you share together, because you've got the outdoors here, they may be something they might bring into an intimate situation with you. I wonder whether your person has had quite a few partners, because you've got the Magician here twice, and the Magician talks to me of somebody who is very good is multi-talented in many areas and very good with what they do. So I don't think I do get the impression they possibly could have had quite a few partners and be quite confident in the way that they come across. And I don't think your parents shy about your parents. Oh, heaven above. I was going to say person, but parents. These cards do not remind me of my parents. I don't think your person would be adverse to having more than one person in at the same time, or being with more than one person at the same time. And I think they would probably be more open if they're male to it being more females. I think they're very forward with what they want, and they know what they want, and they think about what they want. I think your person's quite a combination of emotion and almost a little bit of shyness, but also with a rich fantasy life that they are not too scared to put into action. My only query about this pile, apart from the bit that they probably would get up and walk out in the morning, is the fact that you've got the 10, which worries me slightly. You've got the 10 of wands here, and because you've had this card here on these two on the side where they just basically show you how they are anyway, it's not very intimate, they come across as quite fiery, quite argumentative, somebody who is possibly quite enjoys a good battle, enjoys a good fight. And you've also got this for your sexual pile as well. So either your person doesn't mind a little bit of rough and tumble, or this area could come out in the bedroom. I do think that your person has quite an open heart and is quite loving, but I do think they keep a bit of that themselves. They're coming across as the Knight of Cups twice. So you've got the Knight of Cups here, you've got the Knight of Cups here for how they are in the private situation. So it's somebody who is very romantic, somebody who thinks that anything's possible if they love enough. But you've also got this card here of defensiveness. So I don't think I think they're very careful of who they reveal that to. But what also strikes me about this more private pile is you have got the Magician twice, which I've mentioned. So this person really is very aware of their own talents. And I think they're quite passionate, and I think they're quite open to sharing situations with a group of people, or not. But I also think that their temper or their tantrums could possibly come into play in their private life. Right, I'm going to sum this up. So privately, your person comes across as almost a gentleman or a gentle lady or a gentlewoman, in the fact that they come across as quite thoughtful and stable and kind, and they work hard. But they do have this edge to them that could be also likes an argument. I think they come across as somebody who's very open and doesn't hide much, but can be quite fiery, and is not afraid to, if somebody steps on them, they're not afraid to let them know about it. Privately, your person is very sentimental, they're very romantic, but they're also very defensive. I think that they know that they've got a soft heart, and they somehow try and keep it a little bit shielded unless they trust people. I do think your person is somebody that gets up the next morning and it feels almost uncomfortable, as if they have to move. I don't know why, I'm not getting any reason for that. It's also very strong in this pile that your person has a really vivid imagination and is very confident in their skills in the bedroom. And I think they're not adverse to other people coming into the bedroom. They're not adverse to experimenting. But I do think that this person's temper can either come out as being disgruntled or sulky or passionate, because you've got the Chariot card here, which is basically very direct, very focused in what they want. You've got the Magician card twice, and this is somebody who basically knows what they want, they've got the skills to do it, and they're going to make it interesting for you and for themselves. But there's a slight worry here that they could be quietly a bit too feisty, which may not suit you, depends on you. So this person is quite open-minded, but also kind-hearted. Right, pile number 1, I'm going to leave it there. I hope that helps in some way, or enlightens you a little bit. Thank you very much for watching. I'll leave these cards. Okay, hi there, pile number 2. Let's go straight into your pile. I've got an idea of what I'm seeing, but I'll just get going. Your person in public is somebody I think is probably admired by quite a few people. I think they're quite magnetic, and they are quite direct, and they have an energy about them which is like a mixture of charming but straight and open. The thing I'm picking up most about your person is the fact they like to be the centre of attention. They like to have men or women fawning over them in some way. They might pretend that they don't, but they've got this quality about them that likes a lot of attention. They're coming across as a good mixture between being direct and feisty and confident, but also there's that thinking, they think well as well. They're quite aware of the effect that they have on people. I think your person's a mixture as well of being quite romantic and independent, but there's a real strong feel here of focused attention. This person really does like to attract either whatever they're interested in, the opposite sex or the same sex, but your person likes attention. I think they probably, you've probably seen them in situations where they're walking around with a bit of a swag about them, or just generally talking to people and playing around and lapping up attention. But I do think your person actually is quite independent and likes a lot of time to themselves. But when they're in a group situation or when they're in a work situation, they like to be surrounded by people and they like to be admired. I do think your person as well I don't think your person is somebody who is afraid to make the move if they find you attractive. They may think about it, but I think their confidence is quite good. They may think and they may watch, but once they've decided, they will just come forward and they will tell you that they find you attractive. So I don't think this person may have a shy slight bit about them, but I think actually it's more romantic than shy. Because you've got the King of Cups here for them, which is quite normally like a romantic, lovey-dovey feeling about them, somebody who offers their heart quite openly. And it makes me think of shy, but the rest of this pile is not shy. Your person is not shy at all. They're very focused and they're very direct when they want to be. But there's the thing I'm picking up straight away with this pile, or just it keeps coming back, is their need for attention, or they just really enjoy being the centre of attention. Maybe not in a negative way, it's because it's not in this pile, which is basically, if you think it could be negative, they need a lot of people to feed their ego. I mean, they might do, but it could also be just that fun social group situations that really give them a kick. Okay, so privately, so in the bedroom or in a sexual situation with this person, I think your person is, you've got the 5 of Swords here. I think your person is almost got a Scorpio feel about them, where they basically hang back in case they're hurt. So I don't think this person reveals themselves quite as quickly as you might think from the way they are in a group situation. I think they're quite passionate and I think they're very sexual, but I don't think they like to reveal it until they feel comfortable. I wonder whether your person has been burnt in past relationships, and I don't mean just being burnt in the relationship as a whole, but whether some things happen sexually that they've made them feel insecure. This is the same card as you had with the first pile, so I wonder as well whether your person is the type of person, if they pick up an inkling that they're not accepted in your eyes, that they may basically just start withdrawing. If they feel that the passion that they're giving out isn't the same as what they're getting back, they may just start withdrawing. Either way, I think this person may be somebody who moves very quickly in the morning, who gets up and goes. I do think, though, they are very afraid of getting hurt about the way that they perform, or the way that you or somebody else will accept them. Because you've got the Hangman. The Hangman basically watches. Oh, hold on. No, you haven't got the same cards. I'm going to say watches. See, I was going to say watches then, and I thought of these cards here where this person likes a lot of people in the same situation. You haven't got this here. You haven't got that sort of voyeurism thing about going on here. And you don't have in the sexual pile, you haven't got lots of people, so I think they're quite happy with just being with one person, but I do think they do actually hold back quite a bit. I think once your person trusts you, what you're going to get is an extremely passionate person who's still, because you've still got the Sun card here, you've got the Knight of Wands. So this person, it's open, and once they actually relax with you, they will be open. They'll be very passionate. I'm thinking of here. I can remember reading an astrology book a while back, and then it was people who had Mars-Uranus contacts, and what they did was they made sexual advances that weren't appropriate, and the fact the timing wasn't appropriate. That's what I thought of when I got this card out. So this person's passionate, and once they've decided that they're going forward with you, that's what they want to do, and they will let you know it. But this card here, although it's not Mars-Uranus, makes me feel that there almost might be some bad timing in some of the gestures that they make, because they've held back. Then they almost, once they're relaxed, they're quite passionate. That their timing and the way that they do certain things may be quite off, and you may feel slightly insulted, as if that's not quite what I wanted then. If you know what I mean. I don't think your person's adverse to a little bit of word here. I'll show you the card. I don't think your person's a little bit averse to power play. Okay, this is giving me a sort of a Scorpio feel about it. If you do astrology in any way whatsoever, it'd be really interesting to see where this person's private planets are. If it's male, I would look at their Venus and I would look at their moon, because they come across as being quite fiery, sun-like, and possibly ascendant. Somebody's open, loves attention, is loving, and generally a really nice demeanour. Privately, they protect themselves. They're very afraid of getting hurt, and they're very afraid of being judged, and they're the type of person that moves very quickly if they think that they are going to be judged or they don't trust you. But there's also this sort of like this punishment card here. There's almost like a power play going on here, which probably you might find quite attractive. I'm not getting a nasty vibe from it. It's just basically a power play in the way that they like to reveal themselves sexually. I do think your person is very, very passionate, but I also think as well from the 3 cards I said before that their timing could be somewhat off, and that can be quite insulting to the person on the other side. As in, you could be wondering why they're being quite reserved, and basically they're just weighing you up to see whether you're safe. And then it's almost that change in the energy could almost throw you off balance a bit. They may also be somebody that grabs you in situations that you might feel inappropriate. And I'm not getting a seedy feel from this. It's just something you think, oh my God, where did that come from? You might like it, you might not like it. I don't know, I can't say that. But there's a mixture of this exhibitionist bit here and this fear of over here on this pile, which comes out here once the person's relaxed, because there is a huge fear of being hurt. Betrayed is the word I was looking for there. There's a huge fear of being betrayed. But once they get to trust you, they will basically show their more eccentric, fiery side. There's passion, there could be mistiming, and they definitely like a bit of power play. Right, pile number 2. Hi there, pile number 3. A really interesting pile here. Your person, this is their everyday self, the way that they come across to people that they see when they're shopping, people that they see in work, and probably to you in day-to-day meeting. Here is who they are in private, so basically what they're like in the bedroom, or any sexual encounter that you may have had or are hoping to have with this person. So let's go to this pile first. I think your person is somebody who is very controlled in the way that they come across. They have lots of skills. They are very aware of what they're doing. Oh my gosh, thunder. They're very aware of what they're doing and how they're doing it. They could, if they wanted something, be able to basically get anything out of anybody. I think they have such a huge, I hate these words, skill set. People always use the words when they want to get you to do something in work that you don't want to do. Yeah, well, you've got a great skill set. No, don't make me do it. This person is somebody who has a great skill set. They can put their hand to anything. There's like water, there's earth, and there's fire, and there's air here. So your person is multifaceted in so many different ways. They are able to put their hand to anything. I think they're very charming, but I think they're charming in the way that they are very good at understanding people's emotions and what they want, and which I suppose is just charm anyway, and they give people what they want. They are very caring, but I do think that they try really hard to hide their feelings. There's almost like a anxiety of showing their inner self to other people. I feel almost as if they haven't got the mask card here, which sometimes comes up, but it's almost as if they have learnt to put on a persona that they think is acceptable, and they are so good at doing it. They are neither fiery, nor watery, nor earthy, or air. They are just a huge mixture of being grounded, feisty, and they can communicate well. What's the other one? Grounded, feisty, and emotional. Yeah, they just basically, they are difficult to pin down because I think your person can do everything. I wonder, I was just saying the camera just clicked off, they may have some difficulty with looking inwardly at their emotions. There may be some difficulty in actually, because you've got the moon here and you've got the eight of swords, and the woman's looking into the mirror and there's like the reflection and the moon here. It's almost as if they don't really like, there may be something in their past they don't really like owning up to. And they're such a dab hand at everyday life and the way they come across to people that they have squashed them with the strength card here and the magician card here. They've almost buried that and come across as being charming and successful. But there's something I get about this pile that's slightly hidden. There's something that actually does niggle away at their self-esteem in some way. Okay, so basically outwardly your person comes across as being very competent. I do think that they come across as quite courageous, but I think you may have actually picked up this slight inkling that they're emotionally, there's something they haven't quite dealt with. But your person, to the general person, like the person who does not interested them intimately, who just basically meets one every day, this person comes across as charming and being able to shift themselves into any situation that they desire. Then we got the magician, queen of water, king of earth, and knight of fire. So chameleon. Right, so personally, in a personal or sexual sort of relationship, your person deals with these two here. Your person, once they trust somebody, is very open emotionally. Not with everybody, but that what they seek out of a sexual relationship is an emotional connection and a spiritual connection. So this is the first pile I've had like this. It's almost like you get a feeling over here of somebody who's really sensitive, somebody who needs to be loved and likes to give love and does it once they trust somebody, because it's not over here. They do it in a very passionate and almost like openly innocent, childlike way. What this person is searching for sexually, which is not sexual at all really, it's a spiritual connection. They need to find this recognition that they are somehow bonded to somebody, and they may be interested in spirituality or yoga in some way, because it's almost as if they need to feel that bond before they relax. They hold back, but there's a lot of love in this person. I think they're quite gentle. I think it's got a sensual feel to it. It's got somebody who can read what you want and is able to give you what you want. They read your emotions, they can read your face, and they're somebody who this is different from the other two piles. This is somebody who will look for any slight response from you to know what you want, and they want to give it to you. It's got like Cancerian feel that's very intuitive. I said it right. And it's quite a sexy feel about this pile in that way. This person's got the Ace of Wands, which is passion. So they've got that passion, but they've also got it in an almost like there's no ego here. It's almost as in just pure emotion and love and passion together. So this pile, if that's what you want, that's what you're going to get. I get the feeling from this pile, this person doesn't really like wild sex. I think the second pile definitely. was it the first one or second? I can't remember. One of the two piles earlier was an adventurous feel, an experimental feel. I think it was the first pile. Very experimental, very open to new situations, other people in relationships, different scenarios, different areas, or just anything, to be honest. While this person, I think, actually likes to feel comforted and likes to give and has that passion that is just basically straightforward, strong sex drive. But it's married here with an emotional need to provide and give to you to make you feel good, but they need to feel the bond before that happens. Right, I'm going to just say something strange. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to let you look at the cards here. I'll put that in the middle because it's not so good. If you see these cards here, this is basically women all from behind, and you've got this card, and you've got over here. There's something about women from behind that this person finds really attractive. I'm going to let your imagination go with that. But I haven't noticed this before, but all these women have got their backside showing. I don't quite know what that tail is there. So I'd wonder whether your person finds that attractive in some way. I'm saying this in a polite way, if you know what I mean. So it's just somebody who likes the rear end of women. Likes to see a woman from behind. They may even just like backs in dresses. They may just be straightforward, just like sex from behind. But it's very strong here. You've even got it in this one here for their everyday life. So I wonder whether this person is a backside man or woman. Oh, sorry, if you know what I mean. It's just somebody who likes people's butts. You have people who like different parts of the body. This person is probably somebody who likes legs and butts, and likes somebody who has a good bottom. Somebody who either looks very shapely or very fit, or just that's just what they like. It's coming across very strong here. Okay, right, I'm going to sum this up to say that everyday life, your person is very likes to keep themselves very controlled, but I think they're very charismatic. They know what people like and they know how to get the best out of a situation. I think they're very good at reading people's emotions, but I do think that their emotions in everyday life they keep hidden because they find them difficult to cope with. Your person, the way that they present themselves to others is very sort of balanced. So I think a lot of people are attracted to them, and I don't just mean sexually attractive, I mean just a huge group of friends, people who meet them everyday life are just attracted to their personality. They know how to shift. It's quite a chameleon pile. Over here you've got the karmic soul tribe up here. So immediately I just get the impression this person is a real connection to relax and release themselves. You've got the King of Cups here, and the Ace of Wands. So they're quite sensual but passionate and youthful and exuberant in the way that they express themselves. You've also got the Five of Pentacles. So I wonder whether they hold back initially until you find out this about them, how they express themselves. But I just can't get over the amount of bums I have in this last pile. This person likes people from behind. They like to look at backs. I'm making this like nice here. They like to look at people's backs and bums and the shape of legs and basically all that comes with that. But on top of that, they do like somebody who they feel a really strong emotional connection with. I think this part is quite sensual. They can read what you want and they're very, very happy to provide you with that. They like some response that's not overwhelming, or I think they quite like a sensual partner back, if you know what I mean. Not somebody who's swinging from the chandeliers and yelling. I think that would actually turn them off. I think that's probably more of a fiery pile that would enjoy that. Somebody who's open in that way. This person wants somebody who shows that they're interested, but in a gentle way, and responds in a almost gentle fashion, and that's what they like to pick that up, and they like to pride themselves that they can actually pick up those not messages. I don't know. Basically, they can pick it up when it's subtle. They don't want somebody shouting in their ear hole, yeah, eha, let's go, baby. They want to, basically just read between the lines. Right, okay, pile number 3. Thank you very much for listening. I hope that makes sense in some way and somehow sums up what you may have thought about your partner. Thank you for listening.